Hello, Abraxas here, and I'm going to be playing some Space Engine. So it's been a little while since I've done actually one of these recordings. In fact, it's been officially over a week. My last recording was March 7th. I don't even know, I might have actually recorded that March 6th and just published it March 7th. So I've been slacking, and in all honesty, I don't really have too much of a reason, other than I've just been very busy. I've been doing a lot of yard work and stuff. I've been doing landscaping, working on gardens and all that kind of stuff. I've been doing some work to get a little bit of extra cash, just so I could afford this microphone that I'm actually currently talking through. I have gotten a new microphone, which should hopefully improve the quality of this series a little bit more. And yeah, I've just been very busy, which kind of brings me on to my next point. While I do have my new microphone, I am currently working on the quality of my content and stuff like that. Well, I'm thinking about kind of slowing down a little bit. By slowing down, I don't mean like I'm just going to go completely inactive on YouTube or something like that, but I'm still going to be investing into the channel and everything and investing my time. It's just, I don't know. I don't really have the same feeling I have as I used to. I'm not referring to the SpaceEngine Exploration series, but more Universe Sandbox 2. I don't find Universe Sandbox 2 all that fun anymore. It's been a while since there's been a significant update to the game. Alpha 19 was out in December, and that didn't really introduce too many big changes other than some new cool collision effects and things like that, and overall I'm just kind of a little bit burnt out on the game. A lot of the suggestions I receive, while I do appreciate them, are a lot of the same. It's collide this with that, it's do all these things that are just really repetitive, I'd have to say. Because once you see a collision between two gas giants, you've pretty much seen them all. So I mean, it's like I don't really have any kind of fresh ideas or anything really unique to throw on the table with that game. It's just a lot of collision stuff. So I'm thinking about moving a little bit more into Space Engine, which means I probably will not be making a daily quota to upload like every day. I will still make Universe Sandbox 2 content. It just won't be like a daily quota, pretty much. Mainly that. Yeah, I'm admittedly a bit burnt out on the game, to be honest, but I would like to get back into the flow of kind of making my own content, because what I've been doing recently is I've been following a lot of user suggestions and just doing whatever the community wants me to do, and it's like, I still treat this channel like my own. I don't favor doing that as much. Like, it's really fun to do user content and actually have that special kind of interaction, but it doesn't, I don't know, it doesn't really bring out that creative side. I really enjoy making videos like the solar eclipse video and other videos like that, the Polaris, long exposure, beauty of space engine exploration. The videos I make less commonly because I have a little bit more fun with them. They're a little bit more unique. There's a little bit more editing involved. It turns into a project, and I feel a little bit more involved when I make those kind of videos. When I make Universe Sandbox 2 videos, it's like, okay, I gotta wake up, I need to find a suggestion, I need to get something recorded, and it's like, you know, it becomes very mundane and not very fun. Anyway, Space Engine has already crashed on me. Give me one moment. And it's loading back up. So, overall, I'm thinking about slowing down a little bit with Universe Sandbox 2. It doesn't mean I'm done, but what I mean is I need to kind of just up with some other type of content. I'm thinking about playing a little bit more Arma or other games and stuff like that. And I've said it many times that I'd rather be, or that I'd want to be playing other games. And I mean, it's just simply true. I'd rather be playing a lot of other games than Universe Sandbox 2. Because I have over 130 videos in that entire series, and that's all over the course of 3 or 4 months, because Universe Sandbox 2 is not what I started the channel on. Back in August, I used to record mostly Space Engine videos. So I think I'm going to be stepping a little bit more back into Space Engine and focusing, or taking my focus off of Universe Sandbox 2. Not to say I won't be making content for it, it just will not be as frequent. Don't expect daily uploads of Universe Sandbox 2, essentially. And really, that's all I have to say about that. Wow, the game crashed again? Thought I fixed this crashing problem, but no, it seems to be worse. It seems to be happening when I fly to the center of that galaxy. What version am I on? I am on 9.8.0. But one thing I will say is maybe expect SpaceEngine Exploration to be a little bit more common and a little bit less Universe Sandbox too. I would like to get back into the gist of like doing one of these videos every 3 days or so. It's just, as you guys probably have heard my complaints many times, these take a while to render. They're pretty big projects. They come out to like an hour and 30 minutes. Whether I ramble or not, there's just a lot of suggestions, and it really builds up very quickly. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get started with one of those suggestions. The first suggestion is from Derpsauce Gaming. He says it is the first planet he's explored in 9.8.0. Well, let's go ahead and paste it in and let's check it out. And here we go. Titan, I have real planet brightness off, it appears. We're next to the Orion Nebula, inside Flame Nebula over there. We got a binary star system over there. Let's go ahead and touch down on this planet and see if it has anything for atmosphere. I don't think it does. At least there is very, very little atmosphere. I do have atmosphere turned on. Oh, I guess I do not. Interesting. Wonder why I had that turned off. That's a bit odd. Might have tried to hit shift while trying to hit WASD or something like that. But here we go. We have a beautiful cold Titan at negative 162 degrees. And it has a moon. Also has these lovely eroded hills. And you can see the shadow of the rings right here as we're just kind of flying through them. Let's go ahead and go to the settings and let's enable real planet brightness to get a real idea of what this looks like. Incredibly dim. And of course we're still sitting in the shadow of the rings, as you can see over there. And you can also see the lovely Andromeda galaxy in the far back there. Very cool. Okay, so let's go ahead and fly up and check out these stars. Is it just 2 stars or is it 3? Looks like it's just a 2-star system. And over here we have a frozen ice giant with kind of a similar style ring system. It looks pretty awesome. It's a really nice dark blue because it's over in the dark lighting over here. And you got the ever so wonderful Orion Nebula in the back. Scenery around this gas giant. So let's go ahead and move on to the next suggestion, which once again is from Derpsauce Gaming. Let's go ahead and copy the ID. And his description for this planet. He says, visit this and its moon. It's a pair of red ice worlds. One with rings. Also go to 2.5 because there's disco craters. Well, let's go ahead and check it out. Not too far away. I think we just passed by. That's not the Flame Nebula. What is that? The Day Marines Nebula? Can't say I've heard of that one. But it's kind of in this like cluster of nebulas here. So I don't think this has a host. And if it does, it's very, very far away. Interesting. Let's go ahead and turn off real planet brightness and see if we can illuminate this. So the parenting stars are over there. So it's just sitting very, very far away. Let's go ahead and check out this world. It is an ice world, and you can see it actually has some very faint rings. Barely visible. But it does have an atmospheric composition of neon. That's pretty interesting. And look at this crack. That is a lot more distorted than I'm used to actually seeing on these ice worlds. And my frame rate is dipping pretty hard. I wonder why. I'm gonna check my video settings real quick. Do I have anything changed that is unusual? Did I do something for some other video? Doesn't look like it. Looks like my typical settings. That's a bit confusing. Or it could just be the many nebulas actually surrounding me right now. That possibility. So he said, check out the rings. Or the moon, I mean, which is another ice world, kind of twin. It looks like it was previously a part of that ice world. Or at least was kind of built up out of the same matter. Very cool, and you can see it does have a lot of craters. He said also make sure to visit 2.5, so I assume the moon of this right over here. Which is, once again, another frozen ice world. And it certainly does have disco craters. Very nice. So if you guys are wondering for the random pauses, that's because I'm still a little bit sick. Well, I'm not really sick, it's more allergies because springtime, so occasionally I do need to like turn away from my mic and just cough or something like that, so that's what the abrupt random pauses are. I'm still trying to like clear my sinuses and stuff and, you know, kind of get my life back on track in that regard, but yeah, I hate spring. I kind of expressed that in one of my Universe Sandbox 2 videos, though. And there's one of the lovely disco craters. And they don't really seem to have any actual 3D, like, kind of indent on the planet. It just kind of paints this lovely texture on it. Sparkle effect, and by that I mean it's actually just matter that's ejected from under the surface out onto the upper surface of the planet. But cool nonetheless. So let's go ahead and move on to the next suggestion, which is from Gabriel, the Hun. Or just Gabriel, as I do believe he likes to be called. So let's go ahead and paste this in. He says, this star system has both Titan and... the star system has both a Titan with multicellular marine and terrestrial life, and a Terra with marine and terrestrial life. The fifth planet is also a pair of binary ice giants. Let's go ahead and check it out. A very, very far, irregular galaxy with a nice gray tone to it. A little bit unusual from the typical blue tone you see on these, so here we are. We have a Terra with life. My frame rate is still not doing the best. I might just render this video out at 30 FPS, since it seems almost pointless to bother rendering it at 60, because it seems like I'm getting about 30 anyways. So here's the warm Terra with life. Let's go ahead and turn back on the real planet brightness. Oh, that actually made it brighter. And we have a lovely blue atmosphere and kind of pinkish terrain, I guess, perhaps? Yeah, the terrain is kind of pinkish. Pretty cool. And this has both marine and terrestrial life, multicellular. And there's one of the life textures. I can't really tell quite what that is based on the texture. It just looks like green. And over here by the beach, we might actually see... ah, yes, there's a grass texture there. Very cool, and it looks like we have some kind of lighter blue water. Very nice. Let's go ahead and check out the second world with life in this system, and this has exotic multicellular. It's both marine and terrestrial, so let's go ahead and check out some of this terrestrial life. It's probably going to be on the shore. So it looks like we have that kind of clover-ish texture. I don't know. Somebody mentioned what type of plant that was, or at least something very similar to it, and I totally forgot the name, so I'm just going to keep calling it clover. And there's kind of the generic life texture with a nice purple hue to it. Being very far away from its parent star and very, very cold. But there is the parent host star, right over there. Very nice. And of course, even from the atmosphere, you still have kind of a lovely view. Looks inconsistent, which is very nice because of the irregular galaxy that is actually surrounding it. Pretty cool. Could you imagine if our solar system was in a galaxy like this? That'd make for a very beautiful sky. You wouldn't even really need like a kind of nebula or anything around it, because it always looks very cool. But imagine if you were next to a nebula and you had a sky like this. That'd be crazy. So the next planet he wanted me to visit was, he said the 5th planet, which is a cold ice giant. We're actually in a globular cluster as well. And supposedly, this has a second gas giant next to it. And there it is, a kind of binary twin, or perhaps that's a moon. We could check by checking the orbital map, and they are in fact a binary orbit. They're not. It's not a moon. That is an orbit. Well, binary twin orbit thing. Not. I mean, obviously a moon would also be in an orbit, but you know. Suggestion is once again from Gabriel the Hun, and he says it is a cool Terra with life that has a gas giant ring system and large super icy continents, or large icy supercontinents, I mean. So let's go ahead and clear this out and paste the new ID in. And we're going to a new galaxy. And it's definitely very snowy. And look at those beautiful separated rings. Looks like it has 3 main rings and a bunch of small, finer rings. Very cool, and you can see the fine detail of the rings once you fly up towards them, and we're close to a very, very visible globular cluster. Is that a galaxy, or is that just the cluster we're next to? That is incredibly visible. That can't be the galaxy, can it? Oh, that's a globular cluster next to the Magellanic Cloud, so we're near the Milky Way. Okay. Let's go ahead and touch down on this planet. Supposedly it does have terrestrial life. I think the only place it'd be visible is right here on the shoreline. Just like the Titan worlds. Got kind of a very light greenish blue color to it. The life does. I see some rocky texture with some treetops, it looks like. That's what that appears to be. And we got generic life texture number 5. Very cool. And you can see how low the snow actually is. It would be very cool if this game actually generated ice. Like an icy shore. I mean, I guess this kind of simulates that a little bit, but I mean, that's not ice. If this actually had ice, that'd be pretty cool, I must admit. And we got a very, very bright, happy volcano, I guess, that is not active and is slightly bugged out. Interesting. And there's a river passing through, and I guess this is just a supercontinent on the planet. Very interesting. Does this planet have a moon at all? It does not, so it's just kind of a lone little world with its rings. Maybe one day these rings will condense into a beautiful moon. But let's go ahead and move on to the next suggestion. I just read the response to his thing. He says, visit random nebula 666-666, so let's go ahead and try that. I don't think that's going to work. It did not work. But Gabriel Hun responded, it didn't load. Looks like hell has consumed it. So let's try 6666-6666. Which, by the way, 5555-5555 did actually work for me after I reinstalled the game. So let's go ahead and try to visit that one, since that one won't load. I suggested this in my last video, and this one was constantly crashing my game, but now it's actually working just fine. So, pretty cool. I forget which nebula this was similar to. I think Cat's Eye, I could be wrong. But it looks cool nonetheless. A planetary nebula, basically a star was in the center of here, turned into a white dwarf and ejected its outer shell out into this beautiful, colorful kind of ball. So let's go ahead and move on to the next suggestion. Jacob says, please retry this ID. Well, I just did, and it works fine. Yeah, once I reinstalled the game, that fixed itself. I have no explanation of why that was happening at all, but as you can see, it's working just fine now. So the next suggestion is from Nobody. That is literally his username. He says, I have one HIP 85810. It is a system with exotic multicellular titan and a gray gas giant. Let's go ahead and check it out. Let's go ahead and copy this ID and paste it back into the game. And it is a yellow dwarf, not the very common red dwarfs that we see in our galaxy. Oh, looks like the game crashed. Again. The crashing definitely hasn't gone away. It's still very unstable. Even at 1080p. Okay. Oh, I need to enable atmosphere again. There we go. Let's go and repaste this ID and pay a visit to it. Right over here in the Milky Way galaxy. The beautiful yellow dwarf. And this must be the Titan he was talking about, with exotic multicellular life. Oh, that's actually very beautiful in color. You don't really see Titans like that very often. Let's go ahead and make sure real planet brightness is enabled. Ooh, there we go. Give it a much more ominous look. With these lovely orange clouds. Cyclones, in fact. See, what's interesting about the cyclones on the Titan worlds is that's due to like a pressure differential between hotter and colder air or gas or whatever. So these are cyclones made entirely of like nitrogen, argon, and whatever CO is. So that's pretty interesting. And here's the life, which is kind of a bluish green color. Generic life in number 5. And this orange stuff might also be life. No, it looks like that is a coarse gravel texture. Maybe this is life. That might be some orange version of Zerg Creep or something like that. I can't really tell. I don't really see any texture for the secondary life texture that typically generates with planets. Ah, yes, that might be ice. That could potentially be ice, but that looks very much like Zerg Creep, if you were to ask me. I think this is a Zerg world. I think we need to get Protoss in here to glass the entire planet. Go ahead and move on to the next suggestion, which once again is from Nobody. It says it's a Terra with a pink atmosphere. Go ahead and paste that ID in if I can get the search tool up. There we go. And again in the Milky Way galaxy. Yes, a lovely pink gumball world with a giant nasty crater. It has a couple volcanoes at least. So at least it sprouted up some kind of volcanic activity, I guess. Or the volcanoes just generate after the base layer, but you know. We have a kind of roofed forest, some kind of jungle or something. Image just kind of scaled across, and that is our life texture, our primary one, it looks like. Looks like we have some kind of eroded river rocks and some more coarse looking rocks. And this beautiful pink atmosphere with these vibrant white clouds and white snow. Very cool. And there's a little bit more life texture. This one looks like kind of dry terrain and some maybe oak trees, potentially. Maybe some type of pine. That looks kind of like a dry terrain, like a dry desert or something. Like kind of dry area with like oak trees. And we got some kind of tealish green water. Pretty cool. Let's go ahead and check out the sunset on this lovely pink atmosphered world. Something tells me it's going to be green. We'll go ahead and touch down right over where this volcano is. Let's go ahead and get that off the screen. And we have some lovely mountains, and there is our beautiful, what looks like binary stars, setting on this beautiful pink world. Very nice. And that is an awesome sunset. And it's gonna fade off into the night sky. Look at it get like much more kind of toxic neon green as it just kind of fades away. And here comes the night sky. It's the Milky Way galaxy. Let's go ahead and move on to the next suggestion, which is from the Interstellar Storm 4180. And they suggest this random ID, a Terra with an orange pinkish rings. With orange pinkish rings. And then you can do whatever you whatever you want else. Huh? Okay. Oh, you're right, because I did say specify what you want me to do at the planet. Okay. Because that would make the suggestions a lot more faster, and I would know what to look for. Okay, yeah, I remember actually saying that. That confused me at first. Okay, so this is a Terra with beautiful pink and orange rings. I think we've been in this galactic collision before. I don't know. I get a lot of comments saying I've suggested something in that galactic collision, mainly from Derpsauce Gaming. I don't know. All the galaxies, they reuse textures, things start looking the same. I get so many suggestions, I've done so many of these videos, it's like, you know, it's hard to keep track of all that. Like, I'm gonna lose track at some point. Like, you could be posting suggestions from, like, older videos, and I wouldn't even know. I would just go to them and be like, oh, this is new. So here's this lovely, kind of purple atmosphere world with these orangish pink rings up in the sky. Looks very beautiful. Let's touch down on the surface. Look at that. That is amazing looking. It's like a rainbow, like a orangish rainbow. Moon. No, that was the sun right there. There's the parenting star. That is a gas giant over there. Also illuminating the sky very brightly. Pretty cool. Does this planet have any moons? Well, actually, let's touch down right over here. Over at the night sky. Look at that. As the star starts to set, you can see this very, very bright galaxy center just starting to kind of fade in. And there's our rings still illuminated by starlight. That is just a very beautiful view. Seems almost like unfortunate that we don't live in like such a place that is just as beautiful. But our Milky Way has its own kind of beauty. Let's go ahead and move on to the next suggestion, which once again is from the Interstellar Storm 4180. And this one they suggest another Terra with faint rings and a very odd sunset. Also is in between that specific, or in between that one galactic. Okay, and your Gabriel suggestion. Okay, after this you can do whatever you want. So let's go ahead and pay a visit to it. This is in a completely different region of space. Okay, we got something going on here. Okay, that is not the Milky Way. Oh, okay. This is that weird, yeah, this is the three-way galactic collision, I think, from the previous video. Oh, four-way. Four-way galactic collision. Look at these cyclones here. There's like 3 or 4 of them just stacked up on each other, just kind of like these galaxies. And these spiral galaxies. I mean, these spiral cyclones are also trying to imitate these galaxies. Well, that's interesting. Got organic, multicellular, marine, and terrestrial life. And kind of orangish, reddish atmosphere. And there's rings. You're able to see them through the atmosphere. Ah, there we go. That's a better view of them. Really separated. Not much color to them. Just very faint. And a weird sunset, supposedly. Right there. It's just really detailed clouds trying to fool me into thinking it's land, so I just slammed down into the water. Is that land? No, that's just more detailed clouds. I think we're gonna have to sit on one of these volcanoes and hit play. And kind of let the sunset go itself. Get up on top of this volcano here. Let's increase our field of view. And let's hit play and speed up time a little bit. Oh, of course. But the polar region of the planet. Oh, no, there we go. So it had kind of a cool bluish color to the sunset. Look at this. That is very awesome. Go for one more spin. Very nice, and I love the way the galaxies just fade in. Let's go ahead and reset the field of view. And slow down time and pause it, just to prevent the game from lagging. And let's go ahead and move on to the next suggestion. And it's from Mr. Chris. It is a random nebula. And that is the ID to it. Let's go ahead and pay a visit to it. Nebula, as Boba Fett Productions says. See, there was one thing Venera 13 Studios said. When you see cubes in space, you should probably be worried. Because that should not happen. There should not be cubes in space. But this game cares to argue about this and disagree, because it thinks that nebulas should be shaped like cubes. So let's go ahead and move on to the next suggestion, which is from Boba Fett Productions, and he suggests a random suggestion. He says, a cool gas giant. Huh. Posted 3 suggestions. Interesting. Okay, anyways, a cool red gas giant orbiting a binary system, blue hybrid giant, and a black hole. Plus, it's in the center of a galactic collision. Let's go ahead and check it out. Giant. At 462 degrees Celsius. Between 2 looking galaxies, but one is much larger than the other, or we're just much closer to it. Tell from this perspective. It does have a lot of moons though, mostly Selenas. There is a desert, which looks kind of Mars-like. I think it has polar caps. Oh, it certainly does. So that's pretty cool. It's got a couple ice worlds. Interesting. Star, which is right over there, is a blue hypergiant. White hypergiant. There's something with a comet tail there. Maybe it's just a comet. Scorched desert, so it's a world actually burning away. So go ahead and go back here and check out the black hole that is supposedly orbiting around it, or they're orbiting around each other. And look at that lovely bend of light. Black hole here, just consuming the light and bending it all around here. Very nice, and as we get closer, it should blue shift. And we could just scrape along the event horizon. Look at that galaxy there. If you were to get anywhere near that black hole, since it's so small, it would probably shred you apart in an instant. As you can see, it looks like there's kind of some rocks floating around it as you get closer to it. Probably the remnants of a planet that did not fare very well. Let's go ahead and move on to the next suggestion, which once again is from Boba Fett Productions. And let's go ahead and copy the ID and paste it in. It is in Oceania, with the moon orbiting very close to it. And it has life. Can you also check out the other planets in the system? I'm probably not going to, only because you did actually post 3 suggestions. I'll go ahead and visit the 3rd suggestion, but I'm not going to spend too much time on these. I'm sorry. But I'll definitely check out the 3rd suggestion. Anywhere to land on this, so that we're near the same galactic collision. In a different location of it. And there's the secondary world, which is a scorched desert. You could tell by the flaming clouds and death. And there's the parenting star very far away. Look at that. Very, very contrast worlds. A flaming hot desert and a much, much cooler Oceania. I wonder if that's just being heated up by just tidal shift. I don't think it's atmosphere. The greenhouse effect is not good enough, so it has to be just tidal friction mostly heating up this planet. These mountains. And you know what? I have to say, I think this view right here, oh look at that, got the aurora in here. I think that is screaming thumbnail, if you were to ask me. Thinking that's getting in the thumbnail for sure. That looks very cool. Just go ahead and hit play. Oh yeah, there you go. You can see the aurora is just kind of twinkling away. This guy just kind of passing along. Very cool. Oh, we just eclipsed that planet. That is very awesome. Oh, it just eclipsed us. That is such a cool effect. And of course they are tidally locked with each other, it looks like. That is very awesome. So let's go ahead and move on to the next suggestion, once again from Boba Fett. Wait, did you say that? Okay, it has marine life. Can't actually visually see that as of yet. Maybe that might be a feature in the future of the game, but not right now. So the next one is a great looking Terra with life, beautiful rings, a single moon, and a purple atmosphere. Let's go ahead and copy the ID and paste it in. And again in the same collision nearby. So this has a purple atmosphere. Doesn't look very purple from the outside. It looks kind of bluish. Let's touch down right over here. Right at the pole. On this side of this volcano. So it has marine life. We cannot actually visualize it. And there's the parenting star right over there, which is a white main sequence star. And we do have an active volcano. Pretty cool. Very bright auroras, mainly because I turn up the brightness, just to give it a pretty effect. And there is the kind of purple, silverish looking rings, and the shadow of the planet being cast across them. And you can just see that galaxy in the background. Pretty cool. Some really nice sights in this galactic collision. Let's go ahead and move on to the next suggestion, which is from Harvey89. Okay, sorry, I am back. So, as I was saying, we have a suggestion from Harvey89, and they suggest, this is a very vibrant color, frozen titan with rings. Looks cool on the ice caps. Clouds, water, land, and ice are all different colors. Pretty cool. Let's go ahead and check that out. So everything's just kind of like every element there is just kind of a different color. We were going the slow route for a second there. Okay. The lovely auroras. Okay, so we have kind of a silverish color to the terrain. Or that could just be the snow. I think that's the snow. We have a brown kind of terrain color. That's where the dirt is. We have orange clouds. Let's see the rings yet. Probably because I might be at the pole of the planet. Ah, there's rings. They're very faint. Very small rings. There they are. Not too small, but very faint, definitely. And it looks like we have some blue ice. And some dark blue water. This kind of reminds me of a world that I visited a long time ago. It was one of my earlier space engine exploration videos. It was a Titan that looked like a bump map. Like the actual image used for bump mapping. Like it had reds, greens, blues of like neon color and stuff like that. It was very weird looking. Now this doesn't look like that, but just the way you described that kind of reminded me of that. And I thought it was going to be a world kind of like that. But we do have this very vibrant like blue ice kind of texture that is being used as the cliff texture for this planet, as Titans use a different texture for the cliffs than Terra's deserts and ice worlds typically do. Because Titans are very, very unique in this game, as in they have their own palettes and stuff going on, which is pretty cool. Let's go ahead and move on to the next world, which once again is from Harvey89. Another frozen Titan. Very Earth-like, but with reddish clouds and no life. Earth-like? A Titan? That doesn't sound right. DSI is only 20%. I wouldn't say this is so much Earth-like. It's a very frozen world, a very cold, negative 220 degrees. The atmosphere comprised of nitrogen that might be even liquid nitrogen, making up the oceans. I don't think this is very Earth-like. In a general sense. Even in appearance, I mean, I can't say that looks too much like Earth. It's a very frozen world. So let's go ahead and fly over here and look at these lovely kind of eroded snow-capped mountains. Be like frozen oxygen or something. Just kind of snowing down. Can, like, yeah. And maybe. Possibly. Yeah, it's kind of interesting to think about. Like, what would that snow actually be made of? That's probably not water. Would be a pretty good guess. And what is going on over here? What is this yellow texture? Oh, some kind of ice? I'm not too sure. But I mean, it's a pretty safe assumption that that's probably not water ice. And look at that amazing view of that galactic center there. I don't think that's the Milky Way. No, that's in fact a random galaxy. So it doesn't really have the profile of the Milky Way. The Milky Way has its own distinct look in this game. And you could always tell the difference. Ah, okay, I know this galaxy texture. So, let's go ahead and move on to the next suggestion, which is from Mr. Star Wars. And it is a warm Terra with life, and a pink nebula, and in a deformed spiral galaxy. Let's go ahead and check it out. Go ahead and paste that ID in, and here we go. Okay, we're definitely in a pink nebula, there's no doubt about that. And it is a warm Terra with life, marine and terrestrial. The temperature is 79 degrees Celsius, so it is a very, very warm world. Let's go ahead and touch down next to this volcano that's kind of peeking out of the cloud layer. Kind of a pinkish purple atmosphere, I would say, and once you get down lower, the horizon has kind of a yellowish tinge to it. Oh, look at that very detailed cloud layer. We have a cloud layer above us, we have a secondary one right below us. Maybe the humidity is quite high on this planet. Probably, since the temperature is so hot. So it looks like we have like a treetop texture and generic life texture number 5. And this very beautiful detailed cloud layer. This just looks like it'd be a very scorched and humid planet. I would say that's probably a good assumption. go ahead and zoom back out and click on this planet. The atmosphere composition is carbon dioxide and oxygen. Pretty cool. So this is supposedly in a deformed spiral galaxy as well. Oh, okay. It's very long arms on it. It has like 2 arms. This is actually a very common spiral galaxy kind of like I forget what it's called, but like this type of spiral galaxy is actually pretty common. And the ID for this galaxy is IC 3074. Pretty cool. And look at all this kind of like illuminated areas where there's possibly like some very bright stars and stuff, illuminating like the kind of gas around it, or the interstellar dust rather. Pretty neat. So let's go ahead and move on to the next suggestion, which once again is from Mr. Star Wars. He says, a temperate Terra with life in a magenta nebula, and it too has a unique spiral galaxy. Copy the ID, copy it without the space at the beginning. And let's go ahead and paste it in. We can get rid of that question mark. And here we go. Apparently taking the slow route again. Let's do that again. Now, here we go. This resembles very much the Carina Nebula, if you were to ask me. This does not resemble the Milky Way galaxy, though. So we got this lovely Terra with life. And it's got an atmosphere composition of carbon dioxide and oxygen. And let's check out its terrestrial life texture and see what it has going for it. Ah yes, green generic life number 6. What is yellow dye? I think that is number 2 if I'm right. I could be wrong. No, red dye is number 5. I mean, everyone like that. That's a very common one. Your body doesn't process it too. Oh, check out these kind of very contrast hills as well. It's looking. The gray atmosphere is very I don't know. It makes like a very weird complexion of this view, the gray atmosphere. It's like you got this very saturated grass with very contrast sandy style hills and a gray atmosphere. That is, there's something oddly natural about this, but at the same time it's like it doesn't really make much sense. But let's go ahead and move on to the... Actually, no, we want to take a look at that galaxy real quick that it's in, because apparently it's in a unique galaxy. Oh, I've seen this texture too. This one looks very low resolution compared to the other ones, but that could just be because the way this is all glowing around it. Very dark galaxy, but it has some very, very bright kind of areas. And if you go and land in them, I assume it's quite colorful? It's quite bright and colorful, yeah. Let's see. Very nice. So let's go ahead and move on to the next suggestions, which are from Andromeda. And he says, 2 Terra with life. Let's go ahead and clear this out and paste in the next suggestion. And it is a red dwarf, supposedly 2 Terras with life. There's the lovely red dwarf with the standard red dwarf texture. You can see it kind of just generate as we fly towards it. And here we are, landed on a star. Okay, so there's a gas giant right there. Go ahead and check out these Terras. So there's one over there. It looks like it's tidally locked. I don't know what galaxy that is. No, this is... I don't think this is in our galactic cluster. What's going on with that nebula? Oh, there it goes. See that? Something weird going on with that nebula. I think someone divided by 0 over there or something. I don't really know. Here we go. A tidally locked Terra. does have life, so let's see if we can find that texture. As you can see, it actually has snow caps too. Interesting. I assume this purple Zerg creep is the life? I think so. I think that is our life texture right there. I could be wrong. Looks like it has purple life. And here is a very active volcano, a little bit bugged out, but it looks pretty good. And there's the parenting red dwarf. Sitting pretty close. There's our generic life texture right there. And so what's going on with these galaxies? It's a suggestion from Andromeda, so we have to have some kind of collision going on. So we're next to a nebula in a spiral galaxy with another spiral galaxy right there. NGC 2480 and NGC 2481. I guess these are probably in line to actually collide in the future. Don't really know. So let's go ahead and move on to the next suggestion, which once again is from Andromeda. And it is a warm desert with life, supposedly. But I forgot to check out the other planet with life. What's over here? Oh, it's a gas giant, so we can't actually check out the life, but let's go ahead and take a look at the gas giant. Pretty dim. About as illuminated as I would say Saturn is, so pretty far from the host star. Oops, accidentally messed up field of view there. No crazy ring effect like Saturn has, but pretty cool nonetheless. Very large rings as well. And here is a tiny asteroid moon. Hello, little tiny asteroid moon. Okay, so let's go ahead and move on to the next suggestion. And here we go, warm desert with life. Very orange atmosphere. We can see the auroras very brightly. And there is a galaxy just kind of peering its way over. During the daytime sky, it is barely visible. You can kind of see its glow through the atmosphere. There's the host star, which I can only assume is a red dwarf if we're this close on the planet having life. There is our life texture. Looks like some kind of small plant that would grow out of the ground or something. Well, obviously it would grow out of the ground, but some type of not very tall plant, like something you'd see almost like crabgrass or something in your lawn kind of texture. Yeah, I think so. As you can see, we have some really awesome looking like orange hills though. Like this is very cool, very detailed as well. Let everything just kind of render in. And yeah, just everything looks very nice on this planet. These mountain ranges aren't really rendered over here. There we go. Yeah, it's like a really high-res planet once you actually get it all to render. That's like a nice contrast going on. But what's going on with this galaxy here? We got this blue galaxy, another galaxy there, and a third galaxy there. Is this that galactic collision that was in the last episode? I think it is. Oh, there's a fourth one. Ah, yes, that is the galactic collision from the last episode. Okay. Pretty cool. So let's go ahead and move on to the next suggestion, which is from Light Dancer. A red planet with a pink atmosphere. Or pinky atmosphere. Let's go ahead and paste that in. Okay, so it is a red planet. Looks like something, not that asteroid, but something else, is illuminating it from the other side. Or it's just a very hot world. Which it is a warm world, but something... I don't think it's that asteroid. Something's got to be illuminating it from the other side. Is it a... I'm not sure what's going on there. I guess that is thermal emission shift, but like I said, the temperature is not all that hot. But it's like glowing on this side. Why is it glowing? Ah, okay, so it's a moon. No? I guess it's close enough to that gas giant that the gas giant's actually illuminating it, but I don't think this is actually... Yeah, it says planet. I guess even if it's not actually a moon of a gas giant, the gas giant could still actually illuminate it. I didn't know that was actually a property in the game. Obviously it is in real life, but in the game I wouldn't have thought so. No life on this planet, and it looks very, very inhospitable. I mean, look at how close to that star we are. It just looks kind of like a vibrant 80s pink hellish world. Kind. Pretty cool. Has a lot of volcanoes, including this very, very pointy one right here. Not active though, I don't think. I don't know what galaxy we're in. This is not the Milky Way. It is a random galaxy. Some kind of spiral galaxy. Let's go ahead and zoom out. Once you're actually in the galaxy. Pretty cool. Let's go ahead and move on to the next suggestion, which is from a Planetary Brother. And he just says, "You have to visit this ID." I have to, I must. I'm required. He said so. So let's go ahead and do that. Get rid of that question mark. No description on this planet, but it is a scorched ice giant, according to the description. Okay. Interesting. No comet tail. There is a comet tail. Okay, I lied. I flat out lied. Really bright on one side for some reason. I don't really know why. And you can kind of see the detail of the gas giant right there. Let's go ahead and like land in its atmosphere and see what it looks like. Very ominous looking. Oh, that looks so much crazier through the atmosphere. It is amazing. Pretty cool, and it looks like we're kind of in the center of a spiral galaxy, potentially? No, we're actually in a globular cluster above a spiral galaxy. A very, very bright galaxy, in fact. Let's go ahead and move on to the next suggestion, which is from Christopher A. And they suggest... The first one is a dual planetary system orbiting a binary star located in a central cluster in the Large Magellanic Cloud. Okay. We're going to be close to the central black hole that's in the Large Magellanic Cloud. What? I guess I didn't paste the ID right. Let's go ahead and reselect that. Go back to the search function, paste it in, get rid of that extra space. Don't add one. Oh no, it's not loading. Yeah, because there's still space there. There we go. A frozen gas giant. 27 moons. And there's a secondary gas giant. So this is a dual planetary system, perhaps? There's the lovely Milky Way galaxy. Planetary system. Very cool. And it's in the central cluster of the Large Magellanic Cloud. So I can only assume one of these blue dots here, maybe that one, is the central black hole of the Large Magellanic Cloud. Ah, there it is. Second guess. Fly towards it. Straight towards those gas giants, too. And there's the small Magellanic cloud right over there. You can see the light distortion of this black hole. And if we hit play, we can see these stars just orbit around this black hole like crazy. Very cool. Alright, so let's go ahead and move on to the next suggestion. Once again from Christopher A. Second is a warm Terra and the small Magellanic cloud with marine unicellular life, and accompanying Selenium moon and galactic views. However, the coolest thing is when you pan around the planet at the distance you arrive at, till the star is day, night, okay. Is that day, night, Terminator, what? Oh, okay, I see what you're saying, Yeah, I think I have an idea of what you want me to do. So here we go to the small Magellanic cloud. Whoa, okay. I'm moving too fast. We got fade to green, and then we got that kind of reddish color. So I think this is what you're talking about. Doing this with the atmosphere, getting that kind of red color and that fade as it kind of sets. If we slow down our velocity a little bit, we can slowly transition it and watch the color of the star as it kind of fades away. Look at that, the last frame there, let's pause the game, is this lovely kind of pinkish purple color. So I'm pretty sure this is what you were talking about. You said a red flash as you kind of go to the planet's shadow. Look at that. Look at that color transition. It goes from a kind of yellow-white star, white main sequence star, to a beautiful blue color. Then it fades off to a green color, then yellow color, then a red color, and then pinkish, and then at the last second, it's a beautiful purple color. Very nice. Let's see if we could actually view some of that, which would probably be in these kind of dark patches over here. That is not life. That is some kind of mud. Go ahead and zoom out. Is it? It's only marine life, so we're not actually able to visualize it. Pretty cool suggestion. That's not the first time I actually showed off that effect, but it's a really cool one. If you could just get it to touch the edge, you could just change the color of the star. Just because it's shining all the way through the kind of setting edge of the atmosphere. Let's go ahead and move on to the next suggestion, which is from Farganiak, mandatory last name. Oh, I see. I see what you did there. Mandatory last name, okay, yeah. Because Google and stuff. They don't require that anymore, I don't think. As long as you don't link with Google Plus, you should be all fine. And you can unlink your account from Google Plus, so you should be good. So let's go ahead and paste in this ID, which I appear to have broke. There we go. Okay, so there's the barycenter of 2 stars, a 3rd star over there, possibly 4 stars, a hot desert in a triple star system with a beautiful hot pink atmosphere. Nothing much beyond that, but the pink glow of the atmosphere from space on the surface is quite striking. Where would that be? This one? Oh, that's pretty cool. Let's go ahead and zoom in a little bit. Well, okay, I'm not flying forward, but I'm about to smack into this planet Boink. I went right through it. Turn my velocity up way too much. Okay. Is that the cloud layer I'm looking at, or is that the actual texture of the desert? I think it's just a desert texture. Inactive volcano. And here is the kind of windy sand dunes of this texture. On both sides. Pretty cool. And if we hit play, we might get some crazy kind of lighting effects to happen here. Green sunset. Sunset. See the other star just kind of beam across the sky like crazy. Is that like another star? No, those are actually moons. They're asteroids. Oh, that's cool. And there is the illuminated sky of those two stars right there. If we zoom out, we can go over to the true night sky where nothing is illuminating. Pretty cool. Except for that asteroid there. That is definitely illuminating. And then we have our primary star, which is blindingly bright in comparison. Very nice. Fargoniac? Is that how that's pronounced? Fargoniac? Mandatory last name. Their second suggestion is Antiope. I can't really read that. As somebody who wears glasses, I absolutely hate glasses. They're so dirty. Everything's just glaring. But I'll just try to paste in that name. Okay, so it's an asteroid. I can only assume in our solar system. Oh, it's a binary. It's two asteroids. They're orbiting around each other, I can only assume. And there they go. It's like they're connected together, because they're tidally locked, I guess? That is pretty cool. Look at that. It's basically about to eclipse us. Can we actually go to the eclipse of an asteroid on another asteroid? Can we do that? Is that a thing? Is that permitted? Let's see if we can get the sun to kind of just eclipse that asteroid. Can I rotate with this object, please? I want to see these asteroids like eclipse each other. I think it's doing it now. Orbiting too consistently with the sun. Note the small amount of wobble. Aw, man. I was hoping I could actually get these two to eclipse, but that doesn't appear to be working, so I'm just gonna reset time. And we'll just continue from here. So let's go ahead and move on to the next suggestion, which is from... Okay, I'm actually going to answer a question here. Carrie asks, very nice of you to do it right away. The right way. Nice and easy and relaxing. Do you use any mods? Want to start Discovery Mission 2? Yeah, I'm not using any mods currently. I think I still have high-res solar system installed. I do plan to uninstall that because it's a very big mod. It's taking up quite a bit of space on my SSD. I only have that really loaded just for kind of the fun. But yeah, I'm not really using any mods. If I used mods that added things like galaxies and other stuff, it actually changes the entire seed of the game, and all the randomly generated stars and stuff actually change entirely, and these suggestions wouldn't actually work. So I'm pretty much limited to the vanilla version of the game. No texture mods, nothing fancy like that, no real graphic mods, other than the high-res solar system, which, like I said, I do plan to uninstall very shortly here. So let's go ahead and move on to the next suggestion, which is from Emrakul, I think. And it is a white dwarf with a lovely accretion disk. And if I speed up time a little bit, you can get a real idea of how fast that accretion disk is actually moving. This is faster than real time. This is about a minute per second right now. And here's the white dwarf. No lensing effect. It is not a neutron star. But it does have an accretion disk, and I think it is pulling matter from that big beast we just saw right there. Pretty cool. And if you go to the exposure and just turn it down like crazy. Whoops. You can see how trippy these accretion disks really look. And look at the texture on that neutron star. Actually animated. Isn't that neat? Of course, you can't see that if you reset the exposure. It's just a big blinding white, glowy thing. Cool suggestion, though. The star is over 5 million degrees. I assume not that one, but that one. It says 5,000 degrees Celsius. It doesn't say 5 million. I don't think there's any information backing that. I think it's just, yeah, it's just 5,206 degrees Celsius, not 5 million. If it's 5 million, that'd be kind of impressive. But let's go ahead and, well, I mean, I think that's surface temperature, I do believe. But yeah, let's go ahead and move on to the next suggestion. And I think that is from Glarder. He says, visit WR104. It's a star that can explode and kill us all. Is this actually going to load? WR16. I'm not seeing 104. I see 140. Ah, there's 104. It just had a space in it. It's a blue main sequence star. A twin system. Okay. How big are these? Diameter is 3.7 suns. This one is 3 suns, I think. Wolf Riot star. I see it's in the Milky Way. I don't think we have any nearby Wolf Riot stars, though. Where's the sun? I think Shift H. The sun's over there. Past that nebula. At a distance of 5,202 light years. I don't think a Wolf Riot star could actually affect us from that far away. That's pretty far. A supernova would have to travel quite farther. Oh, look at that. Time is in the game. It's a comet. 2P Necni? I don't know how that's pronounced, but 2P. Is this right now? Is this like happening at the current time? 3:16. Is there currently a comet happening right now? And there it goes. That is very interesting. Is there actually a comet right now that I don't know about? Because that totally just happened on our date in this game. And this game's pretty accurate from what I'm aware. Huh. That's interesting. And I think that was the last suggestion. But yeah, that was a comet that was happening like this date right now. It's the 15th. That was tomorrow. Let's go ahead and reset time once more. Look at that. I'm gonna have to look that up right after I'm done recording this. But that was the last suggestion. So if you guys like the video, please leave it a like, and if you want to see more videos like this, please do subscribe. It really does help, and I'll see you guys in the next one.